Hello friends, welcome back to Bettina Libre. Today I want to talk about something that I feel like everybody has mentioned in their lives, and it's about being happy and happiness. But what does it really mean? But first, I would like to ask for your support to hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe. So, happiness, right? We all have experienced happiness. But where does this happiness come from? This feeling of happiness, how does it happen? Well, the feeling of happiness comes from 4 neurotransmitters or brain chemicals. The first one, and probably the most known, is dopamine. Dopamine, it is the neurotransmitter that it's called the reward brain chemical. And dopamine is produced in our bodies the easiest way. It produces the joy of finding things that meet our needs, like for example, eating food. When we eat food, our brains segregate dopamine, and food can also be seen as a reward, right? It is an evolutive process that we have, because that way it will help us survive. Our ancestors survived by producing dopamine when they will eat. So for example, yes, we get dopamine when we get food, and even when we get likes in social media. And I'm going to discuss this a little bit more in the end of this video about dopamine and social media. So dopamine is basically the instant gratification brain chemical. Dopamine regulates our mood, our sleep, our learning, our movement, and our alertness. The second one will be serotonin. Serotonin is also a neurotransmitter or brain chemical. And serotonin helps regulate the digestive system. Serotonin also helps regulate our sleep cycle, mood and emotions, metabolism and appetite, cognition and concentration, and hormonal activity. The third one, and it's also a good one, and I think it's one of my favorite ones, it's endorphins. Endorphins are chemicals or hormones that are released when our bodies feel pain or stress and help improve mood. And why it is my favorite one? Because when we exercise, that's when we release endorphins. So that feeling good sensation that you get when you just finish a good workout, it's because you release endorphins in your body. Endorphins, like I said, can be boosted by exercising, eating, and even having sex or just getting a massage. So there you go. That's why it's also one of my favorite ones. The fourth one is oxytocin. Oxytocin produces the feeling of being safe with others. It plays a role in social bonding, reproduction, and childbirth. So that's why, like, when you had sex, and that's the reason when women get attached to men or we start bonding, it's because when we have sex, we release oxytocin, and it's called also the bonding hormone. One of the main ways to keep this neurotransmitter or brain chemicals in balance is to have very good habits, like for example, eating well. Like I have mentioned before, our gut bacteria should be happy in order to have a good mental health. Our mental health is very related to the state of our stomachs, because our stomachs are our second brain. Another one is exercising. Having an exercise routine that helps you boost the endorphins in your system. Also having meaningful social interactions that will help you release oxytocin in your body. And the fourth one, like I mentioned, dopamine. Dopamine, it's a tricky one because dopamine can be released easily by getting rewards. And what can be a reward? It can be different from any person. So for example, for some people a reward is food, for some people a reward is getting likes in social media. And that's also what social media banks on, the fact that we release dopamine and then we get hooked to that good feeling sensation of being in these platforms. So I would just suggest that you are mindful with the time that you spend in social media, because it will be you releasing dopamine in your brain, and when you're not using it, you're gonna have a crash or you're gonna go down from all the rush, and it's a never-ending cycle. But that's it, guys. That's it for this week about brain chemicals and neurotransmitters and the feeling of happiness in our bodies. And you know the drill. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share with your friends, and I will see you until next week. Ciao!